episode 92 of the TRT show with Yvonne Stringer, my wife. Hi Yvonne.
Hey.
How are you?
I can't believe you're making me do this.
Oh, happy anniversary.
Finally.
No,
You got me on it.
I got you.
I can't listen to you anymore.
Home. So how are you?
John, I'm grand.
Yeah? How are you? Just trying to break the ice
Yeah,
here. You're all like, you're ready to like punch the head out of me.
Oh.
Scarlet. Right. So, you are a fitness trainer, personal trainer, Pilates teacher.
Yeah.
That's what you've always done.
Yeah.
That's, well, since I met you.
Yeah.
So, you grew up in Coolock.
Yeah. Clonshock.
Clonshock. So, I always knew you being into fitness.
Yeah.
So, you swam when you were younger and stuff like that with your dad, and your family swam and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Why did you, what did you get from training, and why did you like training when you were younger? Why did you do it, like?
I don't know, like, why. I wouldn't have had the words for it then, why I did it, but I think I just always loved the way it made me feel afterwards, like, you know what I mean? I didn't actually love doing it.
Yeah.
I would have just, like, I don't know why. I just always remember not being able to kind of, sit in.
Yeah.
Like, I would have had to, like, if everyone was sitting in watching, like, Coronation Street or something, like, I'd be like, oh God, I have to go down. Like that's how I always used to go to the gym, like, you know what I mean? I'd run down, do a class and run home. And I would do that a lot. I don't know whether, like, although I, like, looking back now, like, I didn't have the words that it was like I would have used it for, like maybe to manage a bit of anxiety or feelings, do you know what I mean? But I knew I would feel better if I went down there and trained.
Yeah.
And that's how I always started to train. But I didn't love it. Like,
Yeah.
I would, like, even today would still struggle with training.
Yeah.
But I just don't like who I am when I don't train. Do you know what I mean? So I've always trained. Like, even if it's a class or like yoga, or there's always some form of movement in me day, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Okay, yeah.
so that's why. But I wouldn't have
Trying to boot that camera.
yeah,
in
I like, as I said, I wouldn't have, like, I wouldn't have had the words for why I trained then. Like, I would have been only like 14, 15 doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would have always had to swim. I would have always had to do something. But I do remember, like, when dark nights were coming in, it would be like, oh fuck, you know,
Yeah.
it's getting dark, and I'd have to, like, that was what I did all winter, like, run down the Glen, 250, Mag is 250 to train, like, when I think of it, like, you know what I mean?
50. How much was that? 2 nights a week?
No, like, I think I do 3 or 4 nights. But, and I'd meet Paloma down there, and I'd do a step aerobics with her, or a circuit training class, or whatever. And so that's all I knew. And then I knew I was like, I'm going to be like a personal trainer, gym instructor from 15 or 16. Like, I did, you know, I got a part-time job. I knew I wanted, like.
Yeah.
And I knew, and I've been in it since, like, you know what I mean? Did a course, just been in it since, like, just doing it since.
And when I met
Yeah.
you, like, in the gym,
Yeah.
like, no one, like, Dave's were at the back in the days.
Yeah, no, it wasn't trendy to
No
be a
one
fitness
was a
trainer.
fucking, everyone's a
No,
fucking PT
no.
now. You know what I mean?
There's no money in it either. Like, very little money. It was
Yeah.
like a gym, and like your basic rate. I loved it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I loved all the classes. I worked in Westwood and Total Fitness, where I met you. But, like, I knew I wouldn't be able for a 9 to 5 job.
Yeah.
So I never minded doing like 6 in the morning till 2 and then back in at 5. Like, I never would have been able for a 9 to 5 job.
Yeah, yeah.
So that just suited me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it kind of stuck with me then, because I didn't have any, like, I didn't have any other qualifications to do anything else then. Do you know what I mean? I just kept on adding on. But I did love helping people. Like, I loved making a difference in someone's life. Like, if someone came into the gym and they were, like, overweight, or like, I knew how hard it would have been for them to walk in. So I loved making them feel good about themselves, and loved encouraging them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had great empathy like that for somebody who was overweight and trying. You know what I mean? And And that's what I loved, that little connection with people. Like, it was meaningful, do you know what I mean? To you know, be responsible that someone had to fucking show up for a class or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was hard work as well, like, you know.
And you did work in Arnott's for a little bit for a time in
Hated
retail.
Arnott's.
I remember I used to
Hated
drop you in.
Arnott's. Oh my God, I
Like
can't
you were
walk through
pregnant on Max then, and I used to drop you in, and it would just be like a black cloud beside me going into town.
I don't know how I did that. Like,
You
you
just
were saving
hated
for a
it.
house.
Yeah, we were
like,
saving for a house, yeah.
So I mean, I hated that. Oh my God.
It's like
But
I
I
used to
just
feel
did.
real bad and all dropping you in. You just fucking hated it.
Just hated it. It was just so destroying. Like, I felt so trapped, you know. Like 9 to 6, just like not being able to walk out and do what I want. Like, you didn't live to talk to anyone around. Really. If someone came in and all, I'd be like, you know, back to work, like back folding jeans. You know what I mean? Fuck off. Hated it. So then we moved to Ashbourne then, and then I remember I met Keith Martin then down in Jackie Skelly's, and he's like, I went to join the gym, remember?
Yes.
And he was like, don't join, just do 2 hours for me and I'll give you your membership. I was like, yeah, alright. And then I ended up back, he was looking for a swimming instructor, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll do it. And then I ended up back there teaching swimming for a few years. And then I did that for, like, again, just like back into that, like, I actually liked it there. It was a bit of a laugh, you know.
Yeah.
Back there, did a few, you know, the life-saving course again, the swim instructor course again. You know, I was back in there again. Like, so no matter where I went, like... And then the hours suited with kids as well, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The hours suited, like, I was able to get the kids minded, and it was, you know, walking around you or whatever.
Yeah. And
I'm
you
tired after all that.
kind of hopped over a little bit there. So when we met, I remember, like, you thought I was a shy bag and all.
Yeah, no, I did. I liked you. You were just mental. Like, you were like, you know that, like, mental. Like, we should actually talk about how what you were like fuck me, like me, like
Still am.
taking a melatonin, maybe take 2, staying in. You were just like next level. Like, I was like, how did I fuck up with him?
But I remember you saying, I'm going to Australia.
Yeah, I was going to go to Australia. I just really
For,
wanted to go to
from the
Australia.
minute I met you, you were
I was
like, I'm going to Australia.
Yeah, I was going to Australia. And
Why?
again,
What? Like,
I don't know. I just had to get out of like, I don't know. I always wanted to travel, and I knew I had no one to travel with either. Like, so, and I didn't know whether I had the balls to do it on my own. So, I was going to do it. A girl I used to go to college was going to come with me at the time, and then that didn't work out. And then, I had met you, and I was like, do you want to go? And then we both said, remember, we went together long, really, when you think of it, like, and we said, if we break up over there, sure, fuck it. Because I was friends with you before.
Yeah.
I was friends with you before, like, I was with you, like, so I kind of knew I'd be alright with you if we broke up, like.
Sound.
I don't know, I just took a chance, like, I mean, we met loads over there, so if we broke up, like, but I suppose we nearly did. You know,
Loads.
you think of it, like, fucking getting over there, like, you know.
Loads.
But yeah, we got through that, and we didn't break up.
And I think Australia was, like, designed, or just a great place for two people like us.
Yeah.
We just loved,
Yeah.
like, the outdoors, surfing,
Yeah,
the
it
beach,
was great, like, it was
the
great.
outdoor gym.
Yeah.
Remember the outdoor gym on Bondi with the chin-up bar and the dips?
It was great. I loved it. I still love it. I
Fucking
still
savage.
love, like, looking back on it and
And Bondi icebergs, the swimming pool, and
follow
it was
it
just
all on
little.
Instagram. Yeah, I still loved it, like.
Did we live in... Which end of Bondi did we live in?
North Bondi, wasn't it? The
North
junction.
Bondi.
North Bondi Junction.
No, up the other end. Remember we lived up there with Shalto and
Oh yeah, I don't know what the
Is
name
that-
of that was. Yeah.
the coffee shops and the breakfast places.
Yeah, it was great.
So nice, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really nice. Loved it.
Then we fucked off to New Zealand.
Yeah, and then America. Yeah, and then back to Ashbourne.
You missed your sisters.
Miss my sisters.
I wanted to stay.
I wanted to stay. Yeah, I don't regret not staying though.
I did for a while regret. not staying in America. But then now when I see the life we have and the kids and
yeah,
the
no, I don't
balance,
regret. I don't regret not staying now. Like, I'm happy I stayed.
Just sit down a bit. You've gone off camera.
What?
You've gone off camera a tiny bit. Yeah. Sorry. So you don't... No, either do I. Either do I. It's nice. I like Ireland. I love Ireland.
Mm.
You know, you can travel anywhere, but your home is your home. I love it here.
Yeah.
I'd never move.
No, I don't regret. I don't have much time for regret. You know, you are where you're at, and that's the way it is, and you made them decisions, and you know what I mean. That's the way it is. Like.
Alright. Sound. And so you still training away now. What are you liking at the moment training?
I'm like, I'd be a bit of a lazy trainer now. You know what I mean? Like I'm disciplined. I'll do it. But like everyone always says to me, "Oh, it's alright for you. You love it." I don't love it. Like, you know what I mean? I don't love anything about it. I just do it. It's like brushing my teeth. I have to do it. It's part of my day. You know what I mean? I feel like you're a better person for doing it, whether it's a run, whether it's yoga or whatever. I've no goal at the minute. Like, I don't run anymore the way I used to. I did the 2 marathons. I don't do that anymore. I'd love a little goal, like, again.
What did you run again? I always big you up on this. What did you run for your second marathon you ran? What time?
3:19.
3 hours 19?
Yeah.
That's fucking serious.
Yeah, it was
running.
good. Yeah, it was good. No toenails after it. Bit fucked after it, but dark place, but still did it. Yeah, I wouldn't be into doing it again. Like, I'd still run 5Ks.
I like a 5K.
Yeah, but I wouldn't run that distance anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Nothing beats it. The feeling of it, and I loved doing it. Like, that torture. I loved that dark place. Loved, hated it. Yeah. But no, I wouldn't do that anymore. Like, you know what I mean? My body wouldn't be able for that.
And you've done jiu-jitsu for a little bit of while.
A little bit. Then Chelsea got pregnant, and then I didn't go back.
Yeah. It's Chelsea's
fault, yeah.
Chelsea's
I did it with Maria as well. Battered her.
Maria Pants. Mill toe around. The fingerless slasher.
No, yeah, I didn't go back to that. I just kind of was scarlet one day walking into the gym going, what the fuck am I doing? But I was deaf as well, so I couldn't wear my hearing aids. I couldn't hear you, man.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck that. I was like, you know, on the mat, like, what did he say and all?
The boys still batter you though, the two of them still grab a
I did like jiu-jitsu. Like, I was raging, I didn't keep it up, but I didn't have a good girls class either going. I just gave that up. And then I think living with boys as well, just like then I was doing jiu-jitsu, all of a sudden I was in a gi, do you know what I mean, white belt wrapped around me, like, it didn't suit me. I was like a fucking man. You know what I mean? Living with 3 blokes, then going off to jiu-jitsu. I was like, I needed to get myself into a dance class or something. Dress in pink, you know. So I left that, but that's it really. I'm just a PT from the house now. I have great basic clients. I can pick and choose them. You know, no drainers. It's nice.
No mood hoovers.
No mood hoovers. Just a nice little setup I have now. I did the nutrition course, MNU. Just finished that. It's very hard.
It's like living with a fucking leaving cert kid.
It was actually horrible what I put myself through. Like, that was really hard for me because a lot of studying. I didn't like have the computer skills or the other skills to help me with it. You know what I mean?
And you're a mother, balancing kids.
Thought it was real hard.
It's
like,
always tougher for
oh my
mothers.
God, it felt
juggling.
like a master's or something, like the carry on of me, like. But it was hard for me, like, you know, and you know.
You were very disciplined, doing it.
I did. I did my best in it, and I loved it. I actually miss it now that it's all over, like, you know what I mean. But I've already got a few nutrition clients from that, like, you know, that have started with me, and I love doing that. Like, that really opened up my mind of nutrition and where people were at. Like, it was so much knowledge around, you know, fat loss and cardiovascular disease and type 2 diabetics and PCOS, you know, working with all those type of people though, so it wasn't just like your fat loss client, which I'd be really good at. And I loved it, like, I really, really loved it. and I would really recommend it to anyone who is interested in nutrition. The MNU course, Mac Nutrition. Yeah, and I did it like I was hoping to help Max as well, like with his nutrition, which is very hard. He told me he needs a nutritionist the other day. He said, "You need a fucking maid." Fuck off. I need a nutritionist. I need them. Spending $4,000 on a course and saying he needs a nutritionist.
Gas.
Yeah.
And come here, I talked about Max and Christian, but Max, like, from my perspective, what is it like when your son decides to do MMA and actually fights in a cage? It's never really, people always see, like, I'd imagine people on our Instagram or whatever see us promoting him and we're so proud of him and stuff like that, but the other side of it that me and you speak about.
Yeah.
And
well, it was alright when it was okay because he wasn't allowed to do MMA till last year.
Yeah.
So everyone thought he was doing MMA. Like, we knew he wanted to do MMA, but we didn't have to worry about that till he turned 18.
Yeah.
So he was doing mixed martial arts, but not in the octagon or not competing, like no head blows or head strikes, and then right enough when he was 18, what did he take his fight a week later?
Yeah.
Like, or 5 days later or something. So that was very hard. I still don't really like to watch it. I love MMA, but just not him in it.
And I feel the same. I'm very proud of him and we support him and stuff, but it's
not
worrying.
able, not able. Like sometimes I'll be lying awake or wake up in the middle of the night, like if he has a fight, and I'm like, oh fuck, and it's like that grips you. It's that sickening feeling. But then I don't know, like, the other part of me is like, if it's what he wants to do, there's no stopping him anyway.
No.
So keeping it in the day and all that, like,
and support and love and pick up the pieces of it, never. It's tough. It's tough. Yeah. People ask me, what's it like looking at your son the whole lot? I feel like every time he fights, like you're going into labour again. That's all I can describe it as. Don't worry, you're going into labour again. That's what it feels like. All them emotions come up the day before and all. It feels sick and all.
Yeah. And I wouldn't really understand it the way you'd understand it. Like, I have a bit of a clue, but like I'd still be like, oh, is he, like, I'd still have to say to you, what's the story? Is he winning that or whatever? Like, you know what I mean? But I just know how much it means to him. It means everything to him. He's given up everything for it, like, you know what I mean? To get there, like, so. I mean, I know, and it's such a, like, I feel sorry for any MMA fighter. Like, I see the highs and lows of it. Like, the highs are very short-lived.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like, they're only that night and the week after the fight. And I'm sure that adrenaline dump afterwards is really, really hard for them,
I see them all, and I never messaged them or anything, but I know loads of them, and when they lose, like, I feel it, you know what I mean? You feel it for them.
Yeah.
And like when they win, it's everybody's all over them and the whole lot, and when they lose, it's like I remember talking to Blaine O'Driscoll about it, and he's like, I'm walking down the road with me dog and I think the postman is looking at me thinking he lost the weekend. It's like, and I get that for them, you know what I mean? And then I suppose with Max, with the injury all last year, like, it was tough for him. It's tough. MMA guys, for the success, the small percentage, minuscule percentage of success that they may get, they put their whole fucking lives into it. It's tough. It's tough.
Well, like, I mean, I wouldn't mind. Like, I mean, it could be like the next Max McGregor. Spending all my money in Zara, like. Delighted in life. He's in the octagon again. Oh yeah.
Up to Zara and Blanchfield.
Into Brown Thomas.
Gas. You're funny, Stringer. And your favourite places to travel? What's your favourite country you like going to?
No, I don't mind anywhere. Like.
No, you have a few favourite places. And what do you like about them?
I love Italy.
What do you like about Italy?
Just the coffee and the wine. Places, clothes.
Yeah. You always come alive when you go to Italy.
I love Italy. Yeah, that's it, you know. I'd love to go back to Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your family in America?
I always love my family in America. That's essential to me. Love being over with them, love being with them.
We just need weekend at Bernie's Joe Biden to drop that mandate.
Oh yeah.
So we can go.
Yeah, let's not talk about
So
that.
we can go. Let's not talk about Joe Biden, the corpse. Let's not get political.
Yeah. Yeah, we had enough of that last night.
Yeah. Gas. So anyway, Yvonne, awkward silences. Come here. So, as a female, right? I've had a couple of females I've asked to come onto this podcast, right? And 90% of them, I have to talk them into it.
Yeah.
Just like confidence and Abby Scarlett and Scarlett.
Yeah, I really didn't want to do it.
Why has it taken you this long?
I didn't want to do it. I only did it because I'm just sick of listening to you ask me, and I can't fucking do it anymore, right? But like, I don't.
Why do females not want to put themselves out there? That's why I'm asking.
I don't know. Like, for me, like, I just didn't want to do it. Like, you know what I mean? I would encourage everyone to do it. Like Jenny, like, you know, everyone. I'd be like, do it. You're mad not to do it. Like, you know what I mean? And then they put back at me, shut up, you didn't do it. Like, you know what I mean? I suppose. I don't know why I wouldn't put myself out there. I mean, it's silly, really. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be like that to somebody else. I'd make them do it, you know what I mean? And I'd encourage them to do it, and I'd be like, come on, you know, you can do it. When it comes to myself, I wouldn't be like that. It's awful. It's crippling.
But I think that's a female characteristic. Not everyone, I'm not putting, but it's being that, like, agreeable. Like, it's like, let everyone else go forward, bar you.
And like, most of your podcasts that you've had on, like, the ones I've most enjoyed have been all the women. You know what I mean? Like, that are talking. Like, I do love now and a good MMA fighter on it. Like, I'll tune into that. Like, you know what I mean? But no fans view as well.
Yup, Dave. Stringer loves you.
But
and the Energize boys as well.
I love the Energize.
They're gas.
I love the Energize show. But I don't know why I wouldn't put myself out there, you know what I mean? I can't even put a post up at times, like, you know what I mean? I feel like I don't have the skills to put posts together. It just takes me too long, and then I'm like, fuck that. You know what I mean? Between using the new phone or, you know, all I share is memes. But, yeah, but I mean, I did it. Did it for you. Now I'll have to fucking listen to you now for the next fucking 5 years.
Here you are.
Yeah.
You're on it.
Loved Leanne's podcast.
Leanne is
last
deadly.
week. Loved Robin's. I love when you have a good. And I think you should keep doing what you're doing. And
did you see?
Not stop.
Talking about Robin, did you see?
I think the silences that were a bit like awkward.
And me?
Yeah, he's like speed up a bit, like the questions.
No, because you always give out to me saying I don't listen. So we really fucking use this half hour or 40 minutes to stop shiting on me and listen to people. So I'm like pausing. I'm like that fucking inner ADHD is like, say something, but I'm listening. So no. Getting back to Robin again, did you see what she did during the week, like the sound bath thing and all? Looked savage, didn't it?
Gorgeous, yeah. So
I think everybody should. Like, I did one out there with Fran yonks ago. I think everyone needs to take.
Fran's podcast was great as well. Leah's.
But take an hour out like that for quietness and silence. Jenny's was Robert.
Jenny, I think we should get Jenny back on to help people with teenagers.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
We'd be lost
because the teenager stage, I think, is a stage no one talks about. Like,
it's tough.
Yeah, it is hard.
It's tough.
It's very lonely. Like, you know, it's alright to say your toddler's fucking running amok, but like, you'd never hear someone say, oh yeah, my 15-year-old's running amok.
And it's teenagers at the moment, like, it was like that when we were growing up, but it's fucking tough out there.
Yeah, it's with the phones and social media and there's so much more.
And drugs and gas and drink and it's, come here, and we struggle. It's tough. Yeah. It's tough. Yeah. It's not fucking easy raising kids.
Yeah.
It's not fucking easy.
You know? No, it's not. Like,
the important
I love the girls' podcasts that you've had on, like a few of the girls that you've had on. The sound baths are great.
Leah. Really,
Yeah, really relaxing.
I felt like I was lying down for about 5 minutes,
so nice.
and I was fucking there for an hour.
It was so nice.
Chill the fuck out. It's so good. I'm into all that spiritual. I love taking the piss out of that word. I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. John, you're not that important.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And you were always, come here, we always were into, I don't know what happened there. I don't know. It was kind of, you always kind of pushed it, like you always dragged me to beaches when the kids were real young, like Portrane, Skerries, Rush, Portmarnock. We always were down at Portmarnock with the even with your sisters and their kids when the kids were like babies.
Yeah.
And the pools and fishing nets. And why do you think you always liked that?
I don't know. It's the same way I always train, I guess. You just fucking feel better after it. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know why. I was always drawn to stuff that would make you feel better, like naturally. I had that naturally in me, like, you know what I mean? Like, I was a bit of a spaz when I was younger, like, but I didn't care. You know what I mean? Like, I was just, would have been running while everyone was out drinking. Do you know what I mean? But I wouldn't have had the words for that back then, that was me thing. I was doing that to feel better in myself, because I wouldn't have had, you know, those words to express myself then, you know, like most kids. But like, it would be like, put your runners on and go for a run. Like, I was 14 and I'd be jogging around Coolock, like, you know what I mean? But, or like going for a swim, and that would be me day, like all through school I'd go for a swim. Sometimes I'd go before school. Now, I wasn't good at it, or anything. Kira was the good swimmer, but like, and I found swimming real boring. Like, you couldn't talk to anyone or anything. Like, you just your goggles on.
Swim bars.
Like, so boring. Like, Kira wouldn't even mess or anything in it. Like, lane tree, like, you know. But I didn't really like swimming as much as she did. But I loved the running, or meeting someone for a run, or meeting someone for a class, or, you know. And that would be my feeling good. Like, I was always like that. That was in me since I was like 14, 15. Like, you know. And even today, like, I'd never stop training. Like, I'm always doing something. A lot, even if it's walking, like, I wouldn't be great. Like, my back isn't great, but like, I'd still get out and walk, or I'm never not doing anything. Like, for me, it's me mind. And I was always had that natural, you know, like, you know, you're saying spiritual, but I would have been very spiritual as a kid. Like,
but I think when people, my not an issue, it doesn't fuck, in my opinion, doesn't mean fuck all, but when people say that, it's like, it's not a choice. We are spiritual. We're spiritual beings.
And I think we're all seeking something, like, and it's that
we're
connection.
We're human beings having a spiritual experience. We had an 8 billion chance of being here. You know what I mean?
But like, I wouldn't have had that connection with a load of people, like, growing up, like, you know, in the wrong environment. I would have been in the wrong environment growing up a lot. That wasn't where my connection was. So you nearly think, you turn it back, what's wrong with me? Like, why am I not feeling like, I don't know, like, you know, you're not feeling good with these people, or you're not feeling good in this environment. Like, you automatically turn it back on yourself. No, you're in the wrong environment, Yvonne. Do you know what I mean? You know, and even though I wouldn't have had the words for that, I sought that out. Like, I was seeking that out, and I found it, like, till I was in the right environment. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's so important. You know, when you're in the wrong environment, or the wrong relationship, or you're hanging around with the wrong people, you're never going to feel connected. No. And you're always going to put it back on yourself, you know what I mean? And for me, training through all that would be like, you'd feel all that, go for a run, feel great again. You know what I mean? Or like, that's how I dealt with things, till I actually found the words to know then, you know, like now being the age I am, looking back, you know, wisdom is you know, you just don't have the words for it back then. You know,
you don't have the understanding.
No, and I was always quite out there on my own, like, you know what I mean? Like, always, no problem, you know, not doing anything, or, you know. I was real, like.
No, you were.
You know,
you were alternative. You were different.
Like, you know what I mean?
Like
a spa for some, but I didn't care.
And that's what drew me to you.
I didn't care. Like, it was like, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Like, the neighbour probably thinks we're fighting. Sitting out in the van having a chat. But I didn't care. Like, but I was still trying. Like, I you know, happy. Thank God today. You know what I mean? And the journey we've both been on as well. Like, wasn't an easy one either, like with you or me, and you know,
but none
and
of
being responsible for your own happiness. Like you don't, like, you know, it's like relationships, it's like, you know, for you think you're going to hook up with someone and they're going to make you happy and they're going to be everything, and it's like it's you're like, my happiness isn't your responsibility, it's mine, and it's like fulfilling that myself without having the need for anybody else to fill it.
Yeah.
You know,
there's no money, no bank account, no person. It's an inside job.
yeah,
You know,
and
no
a daily,
car, no
daily thing, like a daily
Yeah.
practice of every day, like, you know, waking up feeling shit, you know, and having to,
look for gratitude.
or going back to the basics. It's not like it you know, it's, you work on it, like you work on it daily, and it is a daily thing. I always say it's a daily thing. Like you get up in the next morning and you're feeling crap again, might listen to a good podcast and you feel better, go for a walk, feel better, and it's like your day, you start to feel better because you're doing all those things to help yourself, you know. And I was always very naturally like that, like that's what I was naturally drawn to. Like I wouldn't have been one of these people that was like I would know what to do to feel better, and thank God training was for that, for me. And I think I you know, I see it in Christian. He'll come into me and he'll say, I don't want to go training, and I'll say, well, if you don't want to go, don't go. And he'll say to me, but I feel better when I go. And I said, well, you know, that's enough reason to go. And you know, you don't ever regret that workout, you know what I mean? You only ever regret not doing it. You only ever regret not going on the walk or the yoga class or wherever it is you're doing, because you feel better in action. That's how I feel. Like I feel better when I'm acting or when I'm doing something. But if I'm not acting, I know it's because you know, that's where those feelings are, you know.
And I think then with training or whatever, you come back with a more positive mindset to it. Do you know what I mean?
Like I love the
Them
run
problems aren't so
for
big.
that. No, and I love the run for that, like, you know, or the walk for that. Just, I think podcasts are great for that, helping you feel good, and you know, and like a lot of me clients that would come in, like even though the journey is about fat loss or weight loss or whatever, it's always much deeper. Like it's not about just fat loss, it's all those other facets of health around them, like relationships or like sleep or friendships, or it's like going back to that whole thing of what is your environment like, you know what I mean, and changing that environment. And like some people I know don't know how to change, but like if you have a personal trainer or something like, or you know, someone helping you, it's like that, or a podcast reminding you of those things, then you start again on that day, you have a better day.
But everybody looks, and everyone, like I listen to a podcast, right, and all it talks about is change, and but really even the change it talks about, it's like that's not really change. Everyone talks about I'm changing and I'm going to change, but no one changes. Everyone does the same shit over and over. It's quite a difficult thing. It's slow, it's torturous. Everyone talks about it, but no one really wants to do it.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that's going back to that whole thing of the daily thing. It's something daily that you need to do every day. Like forget yesterday. It's like, what can I do today? And keeping it in the day. You know, I'm a big one for that. Like, do you know what I mean? Like if I keep everything in the day, my anxiety, I don't suffer as much with my anxiety or worry, or you know, I only have today. And I always say that to clients, like, just drink more water today, like keep it simple, like, you know what I mean. And I was never one of these personal trainers either. Like I doubt myself because I wasn't obsessed with fitness. I'm not obsessed with how I look. So like I always did it for health. Like for me, like okay, I'd love my arms to be a bit more toned, or your legs or your bum to be a bit like lifter, but I never did it for that. You know, like, and then for me those reasons again was striving towards that perfection. You know what I mean? But I never did it for that. So I was a personal trainer who, wasn't ripped, but I never gained weight or a lot of weight. I always call those weight the fun pounds, like fucking few bottles of wine or champagne, that, you know. But I rein it back in then, and I think that's balance. But I think that all comes from your mindset, and your fitness or for your physical well-being is part of that facet of health. As well as your emotional well-being, your spiritual well-being, but it all ties in together. And again, you're like, for me, my environment, like who am I listening to, you know, who am I around, who's dragging me down, who makes me feel good, who doesn't make me feel good, you know. And it's not about cutting people out of your life or whatever. It's just like, just silent, like keeping it to yourself. Just looking after yourself that way.
As you always say, letting go with love.
Letting go with love.
Letting go with love.
Yeah, like not having any like badness in it, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's not letting go of if you've badness in it. Like if you're letting go of something and you're resentful, you know, it's not healthy letting go. You know what I mean? That's what I think anyway.
And that keeping it in the day, like we read lots of stuff like that, like your James Clear atomic habits and all that 1%.
And it's like
going for a walk and drink a glass of water.
But it's even what you're saying about, you know, when you keep asking me to come on the podcast, and it's like you think you're that important, like that people even fucking listen to it. Like,
we're not that important.
Exactly, and it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, just do it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Who cares?
I don't give a fuck anymore. Like, I'm 44 this year or next year. I just don't care. Like, it's just like, yeah, whatever. Like, go for it. Do it. Don't do it. I don't really care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And but then if you don't do it, or it's like making a difference in someone, even if it motivates someone to fucking walk. Yeah, I don't have a big recovery story or anything like that. You know what I mean?
No, but I find that, like,
you know.
And somebody said to me a while ago, it's like give normal people a voice. I'm sick of it.
Yeah, Robin.
Robin said that. And she, do you know what? By her little throwaway comment, she didn't maybe even mean something like that. I'm like, Robin, that's what I needed to fucking hear. Yeah. Because, like, everyone has a voice, and that's who I want to talk to, rather than fucking all these people going on multiple podcasts fucking talking about victimhood or bringing out their dead. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, I just want to talk to normal people. Yeah. I'm not, when I say normal people, like people with social media, without social media, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
People, everyone has a story, you know?
Yeah.
Everyone has a story.
It's a whole Insta vibe though, isn't it? Like, you know. Yeah. Anyway.
Yvonne, thank you so much for this.
Yeah, you better not fucking ask me again now. That's it, we're quits. We're quits now.
Thanks, Jem.
Fucking podcast, like.
Thanks, Jem.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Hit the button there.